Hey, what's up, guys? Good to be back with you once again. We got the Browns of the Red Sox here back in 1949. We're up to May 26th. The Red Sox and Yankees are tied for first place. Indians have a game back, and here is Stan Spence. Hits a ground ball over to Stevens at shortstop, and Vern throws to first for the out, one away. Dick Kokos now. It's Mel Parnell on the mound for the Red Sox, and Kokos takes the ball. Fouls one back, 1-1. Parnell, 1.58 ERA, 4-2 record this season. There's a second strike on him, 1-2. Ground ball to Stevens again, on to first, 2 gone. Here is Jerry Pretty. Pretty hitting .322, got 5 home runs, takes a strike. .541 slugging percentage, hits a little pop fly over foul territory. It's Goodman with the catch. We go to the bottom of the first. Red Embry up there, and he faces off against Ted Williams. Williams hitting .367, and those numbers keep growing for him. 2-1 the count quickly on Williams, and there's a little jam shot that lands right beyond Graham's reach into shallow right field for a base hit. Williams is on at first, and that'll bring up Vern Stevens. Stevens takes a strike, hitting only .304 now, so he's had a little bit of a slump recently. 0-2 is the count on him. You call .304 slump, that's pretty good. 1-2 now the count on Vern, but it's not where he was before. There's one in the dirt, 2-2. Throw to first, and not in time. 2-2 pitch is there, and that is hit deep down the left field line, but that one is just foul, just misses getting past that pole. 2-2 pitch again. The line drive, right center field. Spence ends up grabbing that for the out, one away, and here's Dom DiMaggio hitting again .357. Takes a strike, hitting very, very well this season. 0-2's the count on him. He's had a couple episodes devoted to him himself. 1-2 the count. There's a pop-up left side. Dillinger has that for the out, 2 away. And that'll bring up Billy Goodman. Goodman hitting .379. The first baseman takes the ball, 1-0. And there's a curve high and tight. It's 2-0. And there's a little pop-up, and it's Moss who grabs that for the out. We go to the top of the second. And here is Les Moss, the catcher for the Browns. Takes a strike, then a ball, 1-1. Foul back, it's 1-2 on Les really quickly. Foul back again, 1-2 remains. And swings and misses that pitch away outside the strike zone for strike 3, 1 away. And here comes Jack Graham. Graham takes a ball, rather, and then a strike, 1-1. And that's on the outside corner, 1-2. Now the count to Jack, that's high, 2-2. And that's fouled out of play, still 2-2. That's a little line drive over to Stevens. He grabs that, throws to first for good measure for the out. 2 away, here's Bob Dillinger, and he hits a ground ball to Stevens, who throws to first. And so we go to the bottom of the second. It's been the Vern Stevens show on defense. Alzarilla hits a ground ball over to Graham, who goes to first with it for the out. 1 away, here's Johnny Pesky. Takes the strike, hits a ground ball over now to Pretty at second, throws to first, 2 gone, and it's Bobby Dewar. Pops one up foul, 0-1 the count, and that's one high and outside, 1-1. That's fouled off of Moss's glove. 1-2 the count now on Bobby. And that's a line drive past Dillinger for a base hit over in left field. So the Red Sox with their second hit, and that'll bring up Matt Batts. No score in this game, still 0-0. Matt Batts is in there for Bertie Tebbets today. 1-0 the count on him. He hasn't been hitting at all this season. Pops up one foul out of play. 1-1 the count on Matt. 2-1 as that one missed. And that curveball is just wide. It's 3-1 now on Matt Batts. And there's ball 4 high. And Matz goes on to first base. So there's 2 out here, bottom of the second inning, and 2 men on. And here is Mel Parnell. Parnell, of course, will be swinging away. Can't do much else, and he's 0 for 21 this season. Takes the ball, and that's one that bounces off the plate, and that gets past Moss. That's a wild pitch, is I think what they're going to call it. Yes, a wild pitch, and allows the runners to move up to second and third base. And so here's the next pitch on Parnell, and it's a ball. It's 3-0 on Mel. Going to take this one, takes a strike, 3-1. We'll take one more for good measure, and there's strike 2, full count now on Mel. There's a little ground ball over to Pellegrini at short, throws to first. We go to the top of the third. Roy Sievers is up there now, and he takes a strike, 0-1 the count on Sievers, and there's a ball low outside. A ground ball over to the left side through Stevens this time for a base hit. Everything's been hit over to Stevens so far, and that's a base hit there for Sievers. Here comes Eddie Pellegrini, who tries to bunt and bunts one foul and hits one over to left field, and that drops in there for a base hit. Sievers goes all the way around to third, wasn't even thinking about stopping. That'll bring up Red Embry. So the Red Sox have kind of a situation here already with runners on first and third, nobody out in the top of the third. Pitcher Red Embry's up there. We'll just swing pitch away to him, and there's a strike quickly, and there's one foul back. 0-2 on Red. Slider just low, 1-2 the count, and it's fouled back. 1-2 remains. There's ball 2 to him, 2-2. And they fouled that one off. 2-2 remains. The fastball looked good and is called a ball, full count, and that's up and in, and Parnell loses him. So of all times to get the first walk, this is when it happens. We're going to pull the infield in a little bit here to Stan Spence as there's a ball to him. 1-0, and 1-1 now the count. Slider's low. It's 2-1 on Spence. Swing and a miss of that one, 2-2 now the count. And that's hit hard deep to center field. DiMaggio's got that, and that's going to easily score the run. Pellegrini also moves to third, so it's 1-0 Browns. Here comes Dick Kokos, who takes the ball low. There's a curve wide, 2-0, and a ground ball over to short, and Stevens going to go to Dewar for one, and that's all we get, one, and Pellegrini scores from third. It's 2-0 Browns just like that. Here's Jerry Pretty, who takes the ball inside, 1-0. Another breaking ball is inside, 2-0 on Jerry. That's inside again, this time for a strike, 2-1, and there's a curve and a ball, 3-1 the count, 3-2. There's a strike in there. And there's a fly ball short right center field. Right fielder Zarilla's got that for the out. We go to the bottom of the third. Ted Williams to lead this off, and he hits one over to the right side. Pretty has that, throws to first, one gone, and here's Vern Stevens. And Stevens hits one to Dillinger, throws over to first. Bad throw, but Graham is able to dig that one out. Two gone quickly, and Dom DiMaggio now takes the ball inside. 1-0 the count on Dom, 2 outs, bottom of the third, 2-0 Browns, 2-0 as that one misses, and there's a strike, 2-1. It's a deep to right field, and Kokos goes back for that one, but it's a long way to go, and he makes the catch. We go to the top of the fourth. It'll be Les Moss up there, and he hits a little blooper over, and Dewar runs back and grabs it to second base, and that's the first out, one away. Jack Graham now. Ground ball over to Stevens at short. Shortstop makes the play, throws to first for the out, 2 gone. Bob Dillinger lines one over to center field. That falls in front of Dom DiMaggio for a hit. So the Browns now with 3 hits in this game, and here's Roy Sievers. Hits one over to right field, and that one's over Zarilla's head, and that'll be in there for a double. Dillinger stops at third. They're playing it conservatively. So as quickly as possible, you got runners on second and third with 2 outs here, top of the fourth. The Browns are threatening again. Pellegrini gets a base hit up the middle to center field, scores one. Here comes Sievers to try to score the second one. Let's see if he can do it. We throw into home, and he does it, and Pellegrini able to move to second on that throw. So it's a 4-0 lead now for the Browns. And here comes Red Embry, who walked last time up, and he takes a ball. Then a strike, 1-1. Mel Parnell having his work cut out for him. There's one fouled away, 1-2. There's a little ground ball over to Pesky. Third baseman throws to first, and that does it. We go to the bottom of the fourth. It'll be Billy Goodman up there. And Goodman takes a ball outside, 1-0. And there's a ground ball first base line, and that's going to be a base hit. And Goodman's able to get all the way to second before Kokos gets that ball in. So there's a double for Goodman to lead this one off. And the Red Sox trying to come back down 4-0. This is kind of a big game. It's early in the season, but still big. Zarilla hits a ground ball to Dillinger. Wrong place to hit it. Dillinger looks Goodman back, throws to first, one gone, and it's Johnny Pesky. Pesky hitting 282, and he pops one up to Pretty, the second baseman, for the second out. These guys are up and out before I can even say who their names are. Bobby Dewar now with 2 outs, bottom of the fourth. Runner on a second, he takes a ball, and there's another ball, 2-0. And that's low for ball 3. 3-0 the count on Bobby, and there's a strike. It's 3-1. And there's another strike on him. Full count now on Bobby. That's way too high, and that'll be ball 4, and that'll bring up Matt Batts. So Matt Batts comes up in a clutch situation here. Walked last time, takes the ball. And there's another inside fastball, gets away, 2-0 on Batts. The fastball catches the outside corner for a strike. It's 2-1, and there's one in the inside corner now, 2-2. It's way outside. You can see them playing inside out, and it's a full count now on Batts. Will this come inside? A little nubber foul. Full count remains. And that one's low, and that will load the bases. And so here comes Mel Parnell again with the bases loaded. He's 0 for 22, I think. And there's a big breaking ball in the dirt. 1-0 the count on Mel. Curveball has him bailing out of the way, and that's a strike. 1-1. Just fouls that one back. 1-2 now on Mel. Hit over to right center field. Kokos, right fielder's got that. We go to the top of the fifth. Stan Spence comes up there for the Browns, and the Red Sox have another chance that goes wasted. 1-1 the count quickly on Spence. And there's a fastball in there for a strike. It's 1-2 now on Stan. Ground ball right side. Dewar has that one. Throws over to first, and that's wild. Past Goodman. Spence would have been in there anyway, though they're saying with a base hit, so they're going to give him the hit instead of an error on Bobby. I'm not sure if I agree with that call. Up there now, Dick Kokos takes a strike. 0-1 on him. There's a little drive to left field. It's a base hit, and Williams grabs that. Spence stays at second. So runners on first and second now. Nobody out, top of the fifth for the Browns. And here's Jerry Pretty, who takes the ball low and fouls one back. 1-1 on Jerry. That's high. 2-1 is the count. Foul back to the left out of play is 2-2, and that's foul straight back, still 2-2 on Jerry. Line drive over right field for a base hit, and that's going to score 1. No, it's not. I'm sorry. That will just load the bases here with Les Moss coming up. Mel Parnell has had a lot of hard luck today. 4-0, he's behind, and he's about to get knocked out. Moss fouls one back, and then takes the ball, 1-1. Ground ball over to third, and Pesky goes to home with that, and then back to first for the double play. And so just like that, there are runners now only on second and third with 2 outs. It'll be Jack Graham, and we'll pitch to him with this odd situation. Takes the ball and then hits a little grounder back to Parnell, who throws over to first, and we go to the bottom of the 5th. So the Red Sox got out of that jam, and here comes Ted Williams again. Last time we had this setup, they got out of the order in a hurry. Williams takes the ball and then hits one over to right field, and that's going to be a base hit at least, and he's down there with a double. Number 14 of the season for him. That brings up Vern Stevens as we have a little bit of light rain falling. Stevens takes the fastball for a strike, and swinging a miss at that sinker. 0-2 the count now on Stevens. That's way outside, 1-2. Sinker barely outside, 2-2 now on Vern. And that curveball hangs high, full count now on Vern Stevens. And he fights that one up, dumps into center field now for a base hit. And we're going to play a little bit conservative with Williams, who's not that fast. Spence has got a good arm. So now runners on at first and third, nobody out for Dom DiMaggio. Let's see what Dom can do. Takes the ball, 1-0. It's in the dirt, 2-0 now the count on DiMaggio. That's high. 3-0 now, the little professor, and he takes the ball high. Embry's given up his 4th walk against 0 strikeouts, and that'll bring up Billy Goodman. So the bases are loaded here for Goodman. No home runs this season. See if he can get a base hit, not a home run threat. 2-0 now is the count on Goodman, who's got a 44 slugging percentage, and he takes ball 3. He'll take this one. There's a strike. 3-1 the count. Take another one. There's another strike. Full count now on Billy. The line down to right field for a base hit, and that'll score 1. Stevens comes in as well. DiMaggio goes over to third, and Goodman has a single, scoring 2 runs, and that makes this a 4-2 ball game just like that. And here comes Al Zarilla. Zarilla, 308 on the season, has not had a great on-base percentage, but the slugging percentage is up there. He's just not walking is what's happening. He hits a ground ball over to the left side. Dillinger has a dive for that one at third base and grabs it, keeps it from going to the outfield, but not able to prevent the run from scoring. Goodman goes to second. It's now a 4-3 ball game. And here comes Johnny Pesky with nobody out, runners on first and second. Tom Farrick will be the new pitcher for the Browns, and his first pitch is outside for a ball, and there's a liner down the right field line, just foul. 1-1 the count now on Johnny. That's a forkball in the dirt, 2-1 on him. Ground ball over to Pellegrini, goes over to Pretty at second for 1. Graham at first for the double play. And there's a little rain delay, so we won't bother you much with that. We have an hour-long almost rain delay. It's at 56 minutes. We come back into this. Both pitchers are still out there, and here's Bobby Dewar, who takes a strike, 0-1 with Goodman on at third. There's a ball at the outside edge, 1-1. That slider's just wide, 2-1 on Bobby. It's foul back, 2-2. Sinker in the dirt, low, full count now on him, and Farrick misses with that, and so Dewar will walk, and that puts runners on the corners now, this time for Matt Batts. Batts, 2 plate appearances today, walked both times, takes the ball low. He's pretty good at doing that, and there's a ground ball over to Farrick. The pitcher throws over to first for the out. We go to the top of the 6th. It's a 4-3 ball game now. The complexion of this game has changed as Bob Dillinger takes a strike and then fouls one off, 0-2 the count. There's one in the dirt on Dillinger, 1-2. Popped up behind the plate, out of play. 1-2 remains. Foul back, still 1-2. Ground ball to Pesky, left side. Third baseman has it, throws to first, 1 gone. Roy Sievers now comes up. He fouls the first pitch off, 0-1 the count on Roy. It's the slider low, 1-1. Ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit. Sievers now 3 for 3 today, and that'll bring up Pellegrini, who's 2 for 2. Parnell having a hard time with the bottom part of the order, and there's a ball right away to Pellegrini, showing you what I was saying. 2-0 now the count on Eddie. It's fouled away right side. Goodman can't get there. 2-1. It's hit down to the right field, and it's actually Bobby Dewar who's got that one shallow right for the second out, 2 away, and it's Tom Farrick up there. Takes the ball, 1-0. Pitcher Farrick with his second at bat, and that's a wild pitch as that's off of Bat's glove, so that allows Sievers to move up. 2-0 the count now on Farrick, and he takes a strike. It's 2-1. It's pulled down the left field line deep. Williams is there right in front of the green monster, grabs that for the out. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It'll be Mel Parnell to lead this off. We're going to keep him in this ball game. And as my dog barks, there's a strike in there to Parnell, 0-1. And then a ball, 1-1. There's ball 2 to him, 2-1 the count. Ground ball down the first base line. Graham has that and goes to the bag himself, 1 away. And here's Ted Williams. Williams 2 for 3 today, hitting now 374. Hits one deep to center field. Not quite deep enough, though. Stan Spence able to go back, grab that for the out, 2 away. Vern Stevens up there now. He's 1 for 3. 1-1 is the count on him. That's hit to deep center, and it's to Spence again. We go to the top of the 7th inning. Here is Spence, and he hits a ground ball over to second, and DeWer has that, throws to first. 1 gone. Dick Kokos now fouls the first pitch back, and then hits one deep to left field. Williams goes back on that one and grabs it for the out. 2 gone, and it's Jerry Pretty. And he hits a ground ball over to DeWer at second, who goes to first, and that does that. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Really fast-moving game here, and here's Dom DiMaggio for the Red Sox, down 1, 4-3. And there's a ground ball over to Pretty at second base, and he grabs that, tries to throw, and it ends up getting stuck. And the ball escaped him just as he pulled his arm back, and DiMaggio is on with the air. That'll bring up Billy Goodman, runner on at first base. Goodman 2 for 3 today, and he takes the ball high. Pops one up, out of play. 1-1 on Billy. Strike of the knees, it's 1-2. Ground ball over to short now, and the shortstop Pellegrini has it, flips over to Pretty for 1, onto Graham at first for the double play. 2 gone. Alzarilla now takes the ball low and away. 1-0 the count. There's another one low. It's 2-0. That's barely low. 3-0 now in Zarilla, and there's a strike. 3-1. Sinker just on the outside corner. Full count now on Al. And he goes around with that one. Check swing. Strikeout. And we go to the top of the 8th. 4-3 still the score. And up first is Les Moss. Takes the ball. And then a strike. 1-1 the count on Moss. And there's a ball to Moss, so it's 2-1. And there's a chopper back to Parnell at the mound, and he flips that one underhand over to Goodman to first, 1 away. Jack Graham up there now, man. Mel Parnell has calmed down. There's a ball to Graham. Another ball low, 2-0. Sliders high, 3-0 the count on Graham. There's the strike, it's 3-1. Good one down the middle, full count now on Jack. And that's outside for ball 4, and that'll bring up Bob Dillinger. So runner on at first base as Dillinger takes a strike. Second walk given up by Parnell. 1-1 now the count on Bob. That's high. 2-1 is the count on him. And there's strike 2. It's 2-2 on Bob Dillinger. And he takes the sinker just wide. Full count on him as well. And that's high. And that'll be ball 4. And so there are 2 runners on. 2 walks in this inning for Parnell, who only has 3 in this game. So all of a sudden they're taking pitches. Here's Roy Sievers. Takes the strike. 0-1. Fouls one back. 0-2 the count on Roy. That's low. Sievers 3 for 3 today, having a heck of a game. Takes another ball, 2-2, and that's in tight. Full count on him. That's just off the corner, ball 4. So Parnell has walked 3 in a row, and that'll bring up Pellegrini with 1 out. Pitch to Pellegrini. We'll pitch to Eddie here, though he's 2 for 3, 4 for 7 in the series. He takes a strike. And there's a ground ball over to Pesky. Pesky runs in, grabs that one, throws over to first, not in time, and that'll be a base hit. Another run scores. It's 5-3 now, Browns. And we're going to finally take him out. We probably should have done this earlier, but we're finally going to do it here. And this is the reason why I didn't want to do this, right? Because there's nobody on the bench. It'll be Earl Johnson who comes in. Johnson will come in for the Red Sox. 7.59 the ERA. 0 for 1 in terms of wins and losses. And there's a pinch hitter coming up for Ferrick. It'll be John Sullivan. There's a strike in there to Sullivan. 0-1 the count. That's in the dirt. 1-1 now on Sullivan. So Parnell has some poor luck. There's a ground ball over to Pesky. Goes to bats for 1, and he goes on to Goodman at first for the double play. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and it's a 5-3 game. Still within reach. Up comes Johnny Pesky. Pesky, 0 for 3, takes a strike. And there's a foul ball off his foot. 0-2 on Pesky. There's a ball. 1-2. Ground ball up the middle. Pretty has that. Routine grounder, and he throws to first, and it's not in time. Pesky legs that one out, gets the base hit, and that'll bring up Bobby DeWer. Red Sox down by 2, and here goes Pesky. He's going to run, and there's a foul ball. 0-1 the count. That's inside for a ball. 1-1 now on Bobby. That's fouled away again. 1-2. Snap throw to first, nothing doing. 1-2 pitch comes in. There's ball 2, high inside. 2-2. It's fouled away. Still 2-2 on Bobby. Ground ball over to left side, and Dillinger has it. He goes over to Pretty at second for 1. Back onto Graham at first for the double play. 2 gone, just like that. Here comes Matt Batts, and that's looped over to right field. Kokos has that for the out. We go to the top of the 9th inning, and it'll be Stan Spence here for the Browns. He hits one over up to the right side out of play. 0-1 the count on Spence, and there's a swing and a miss in that next one. It's 0-2. Ground ball over to Stevens at short, throws to first, 1 gone. Dick Kokos up there now. Hits one back to the ground. Johnson fumbles that, no problem. Throws to first, 2 away. Here's Jerry Pretty. Takes the ball high, 1-0. There's a little rope down to left center field, and that was in front of Williams for a hit. Pretty trying to stretch this into 2. The good throw will beat him, and Williams, unfortunately, doesn't quite have the good throw. Pretty's in there with a double, and here comes Les Moss. Moss takes the strike, 0-1, and there's a ball, 1-1. Off the plate, 2-1 now on Moss. That's fouled off his foot, 2-2. Foul to the left, out of play. Inside misses, full count now on Moss. It's fouled out of play still. Again, I should say. Another one fouled away, full count. And he checks his swing. He does check his swing, and that's ball 4 on Moss, and that'll bring up Jack Graham. So Johnson now starting to struggle, giving up a walk. There's a ball to Graham right off the bat, and then a strike, 1-1. Foul back, it's 1-2 on Jack. Grant bounced over to second base. DeWer takes the funny hop and stride, throws over to first for the out, and we go to the bottom of the ninth. So here we go. It's our favorite time of day, and we're going to bring up Lou Stringer, as I think we usually do, to pinch hit. Stringer hitting .333 so far this season, 3 for 9, takes a strike. There's another strike, 0-2 quickly on him. Ground ball over to second, actually short. Pellegrini, good play in front of the bag, throws to first, 1 away. Ted Williams now, 2 for 4 today. Takes the ball low and outside, 1-0. That one misses again, 2-0 on Ted. Borderline, called a strike, 2-1 the count. It's on the outside corner for strike 2. It's 2-2 on Ted. And that's fouled away just barely, 2-2 on Williams. And that's below the knees, full count now on Ted. That's fouled away weakly, full count remains. Fouled away again. Fouled off again, full count on Ted Williams once more. Hit over to Spence in center field for the second out. And here comes Vern Stevens. This will be probably the end of your ball game. The ball high and outside to Stevens, and there's one hit over to Sievers in left field for the third out, and that does it. So the Red Sox drop one here, and they're going to drop, for the moment, a half game behind New York, and we'll see if the Yankees win or not today. This American League gets tighter and tighter as we go forward. It's been exciting, and we're getting to June pretty soon, so you'll want to pay attention and see what else we have for you. Talk to you later. Bye.